Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm ready for on film. Like, ready to represent the Lupinrangers.
Fucking Lupins. Fuck them.
Fuck you!
Wow.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Pat Rangers all the way,
know
man.
what? You know what? Fuck you. It's time to shine.
Magic 0, 2, 9 Mastery Kaitou change.
Cue the roll call.
We are live!
Connect. Loading. Broadcast.
Wielding equipment, the plot, and ire! Bluecaster, Ishida's Azil!
Loud and impulsive. Pinkcaster, Lane.
Illuminating the Tokuverse. Yellowcaster, Hologram.
One a spark of courage. Dreamcaster, Global Self Perka.
Stealing the show. Kaitou Castranger, Blade.
Broadcasting hundreds of opinions across the world!
Radio Sentai Castranger.
Well, that happened.
Okay, did we just have like 2 roll calls?
Maybe?
No, we had a henshin and a roll call.
Can we do that?
Is that allowed? Is that legal?
I mean, Lane transforms all the time
Wait,
on
that's
Ultra
illegal.
I do.
But that's tomorrow.
So yeah, for at least one episode, I'm having the battleizer of Kaitou Caster.
So
Because I love on film so much.
In film. Stop
Actually,
posting
you know what?
porn in
Wait.
our chat, Gar.
hey,
now I have to blur it.
Hey, no, you don't. We already blurred it for you.
You're ruining the joke, asshole!
It's not really even that vulgar. They're just wearing bikinis.
Oh no, it's very bold.
Welcome to Radio Sentai Castranger, episode 231.
Kingdra.
It's not even that vulgar. They're just beep.
Blaze, Pokemon!
Kingdra.
I'm doing it right now. 231.
No. What number are we on?
231!
Oh, I thought it was
Fanfi. Fanfi.
Fanfi.
Yay, Fanfi!
Fan-
Means
What
next
happened
week
to
is
Kingdra?
Dawn Chan.
Wait, was Kingdra last week?
Yes? I guess?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, could sworn.
Fucking
King Dwa.
That's what happens when you're not on all the time.
Yeah.
Look. You're shock of all
You
shock.
were long
I actually-
gone.
Well, actually, shock for all shock. I actually watched Kamen Rider this week.
Dun,
What?
dun, dun!
Yeah,
What
I
is
mean,
this madness?
recent studies and discoveries have we've discovered that if you put Kamen Rider Ryuki in another Kamen Rider show,
Gar will come.
Gar will watch it. He will come.
So
and
after
watch it.
after legit 4 months of not watching it, I actually sat down.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
watched Kamen
First off,
Rider
high five for not
Did you
fucking
just
watching an
watch
episode of
that
Zio
episode,
until
or
now.
did you
Wow, did you miss a train wreck?
Who are you and what have you done with the real Gar?
It's
It's Mirror Gar! It's another Gar! It's another
Answer the
Gar.
question.
It's Rag!
It's rag.
It's Captain Tube Hands.
Now you have to talk backwards the whole
It's
episode.
Captain.
Okay, oh wow, Ichi, you're gonna be editing for hours.
Nope! Nope! I just said this shit to render overnight.
Nope.
So this week we're talking about Zio episode 21, aka the episode the 6th Chosen Child shows up. That's a Digimon joke. Lupin Pato versus itself, episode 50.
So I was quickly going through my YouTube channel. So
How about I finish saying what our topics are
sure,
first?
fine.
And
I have a
our,
thing to say too.
our,
Afterwards.
our feature topic for this week is Lupinranger versus Patranger.
Yep, a half-hour film.
Yep.
The last one.
Yeah, it was.
It
And
can be
it's the best thing ever.
It
What
can
are
be
you
shown at
doing?
Sundance.
Are you doing some kind of like punch?
Gar's trying to henshin into Ryuki with his wallet.
So
It
I
failed.
wanted to say really quickly.
It just
Remember
fell.
that thing I did? The episode where Sakuya and Toma did aerobics.
Yep. How could we forget?
I didn't hear
that
a single thing you just said.
Remember how I took that clip and put the Cool Patrol over it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you do
It's
this
going
time?
slightly viral now. In the past 2 weeks, it's gone up like 300 views.
Oh
Christ.
my god. Well, it's worth
Currently
it.
at
It's great.
764.
Yikes. That's
It's
better
really
than most
good,
of our
though.
episodes.
It's worth it.
Did you put a link to us in the description?
Sure.
Yes! What the fuck?
Kill Viddy episodes.
That's the name of extra. Ignore it.
Anyways, as I was trying to say before.
Whoa, what the hell did I do? YouTube was like in a corner for some reason.
So
How is YouTube in a corner?
So I don't
know.
how.
It was just playing the video in a corner.
So we were talking about Cyclone Excel Extreme and Extra, and like I forgot that I did a rider battle from Climax Heroes of Double Extreme versus Cyclone Excel Extreme,
Which I call WCAT.
So I made this video back in January 6th, 2011, and it has 380,000 views.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, no, and apparently one of my other videos on my channel has like over 2 million.
Put links to Castranger in those shits.
They're dead.
Years ago.
Like,
Are you sure? Check the fucking analytics.
I don't know how. Can you do that on the mobile version?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't think
Pop
so.
it in, go into browser, desktop mode.
Your desktop.
Anyway.
You're a fucking desktop.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Remotely.
What? That doesn't work. Wait, this is the show. This is recording, right?
Yep. Oh,
Yep.
we've been.
Oh yeah, my Pangozo video. I forgot about that.
Fuck you.
That's where I took the panda medal and I made it a head medal, even though it's clearly a chest medal.
Because you just like to irk me sometimes.
Yeah, I do.
Speaking of things that irk me.
Oh my god. That was a great episode.
Yeah.
So let's start off by...
I actually forget that this episode for some reason. Like I watched it I watched it like yesterday.
I'm not sure I watched it.
And for some reason, aside from the Mirror World stuff, I barely remember what happened in it.
That was basically it.
I don't know what happened.
Hey, it's Ryuki in a nutshell. You don't remember what happened at the end.
I guess you need to sit and reflect on it. That's a high five from Gar.
Yeah.
Okay, that was actually really good. It took me longer than I cared to admit.
So yes, episode 21 is the start of the Ryuki
/ Ryuga.
like the Kamen Rider Ryuki tribute for the 20th anniversary.
What makes me laugh is that Waz has just accepted the stupid ass nickname Sogo's given him of Kuro Waz.
That sounded not racist.
Right? He's Black Waz.
Well, it's black like the actual color.
Yeah.
But anyways,
It's not even black.
so this thing, I was wondering why Shinji turned into another Ryuga, and then we watched the episode and it fucking dawned on me. It's Ryuga! It's actually Kamen Rider Ryuga! That's why he turns into another Ryuga, because it's actually
Mirror Shinji.
From
the movie.
That's so fucking cool.
And I was wondering when going into this episode, how is that going to happen with the whole erasure of the timelines shit? And then I remembered, Ryuki already erased its own timeline, so Ryuga comes out of the movie timeline.
Yeah.
Ryuki already erased its own timeline, so anything goes at this point.
That's what I
O's.
heard at first. I thought this seems convenient, and then I remember
Yes,
you
it
guys
does.
telling me about how many endings that this had.
4, and they were all bad.
And also, if you think
all bad,
if you think about it, the mirror world is its own separate dimension outside space and time. So
that could be
that's
argued.
when they actually say that. They're like,
So-
you can't jump to a different time to get there.
So
I
not
like what Wool
female
was doing.
Jacker.
Yeah,
I like what Wool was doing at the beginning.
The
where
funniest shit ever.
He seemed to be goofing off, just throwing a rock at a mirror over and over again. But he was actually trying to summon Ryuga.
And Schwartz is just like, "Are you fucking listening to me?"
It feels like one of those like urban like horror myths that Japanese kids would do when they're trying to trigger paranormal phenomena.
Oh, you mean like when kids go into the washroom and sing Bloody Mary?
Yeah. But yeah, Wool's just breaking a mirror over and over and unbreaking it with his time powers until he triggers Mirror Shinji.
Was it 100 times?
I think he said
1,000.
1,000.
Every 1,000.
Yes, once every 1,000
One in every
times,
1,000 times.
You can go
And
to
1,000 words. 1,000 embraces will throws a rock. It flies in Gar's face and everybody laughs. We laugh forever. 10 points for that reference.
I'm not laughing. I'm sad.
I get hit for rock?
That song was from Final Fantasy X2.
Okay.
Does that mean Gar is scissors?
Hey, if I'm any rider, I'm Emperor.
Emperor. Imperior.
So what? You have the saddest fucking end ever?
Yes.
So you were doing it only for the money?
No, because I didn't actually want, like, I thought it was going to be nice and cool, but then not, and then
it totally was not cool.
And then I died, in which I felt sad. Because I was,
You can't feel sad if you're dead.
yeah. So apparently not female time jacker informs our heroes, Wool, whatever her name is.
Right, you haven't seen the show.
Yeah, whatever she is, like...
What? Still not a she, but alright.
I'm tired of having that in the fucking chat box.
Alright, fine. Basically, she mentions how Ryuga comes from another, like, not only just the mirror world, but, like, another world of, like out of space and time.
A movie.
Yeah, because...
Wait, the mirror world is an actual completely different world?
It would have its own separate planet in the Kingdom Hearts universe.
Yeah.
And everything is actually mirrored in it, like the text is mirrored.
Yep. Which...
I remember what, like... Alright, so go looking at
It's
this.
in
Like,
digicode.
what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Because... Back in the day, young children of the Neo Heiseiers, back in Heisei, the movies were all in their own reality. They did not care for continuity. It was, hey, let's do whatever the fuck we want.
It was, hey, say!
Could you call that the heydays?
Yes,
The
they
Heisei
were
day?
the heydays.
The heyday of the Heisei, the Heisei day?
They were the Heisei heydays.
Do you say
The
the Heisei
Heiseis.
had a heyday?
So for Kamen Rider Ryuki, there was Kamen Rider Ryuki.
Dale Dimmadome, owner of the Dale Dimmadome.
That was actually a really good Dale Dimmadome impression. It's actually...
I wasn't even trying.
Isn't it Doug Dimmadome?
Yeah, it's Doug Dimmadome.
Doug Dimmadome. Doug Dimmadome.
What would Doug Dimmadome do?
Went to not Mexico.
Mexico?
Eskimo. No, he became an Eskimo.
No, Inuit. That's the most
Anyway.
racist term.
I still remember I learned that was
It is.
a racist, like a slur, like on this show. It's like, wait, what?
See,
This is how
we
you
just
figure
said-
that out.
We also teach people.
You said
Radio
what?
Sentai Castrangers
We lead by
educational
example. Don't do
program.
what we do.
I just heard like you can't. I just like I think Lane was like, you can't use that word, like, and I was just like, what word? And just like, all right, fine, I'll say it so that like, people have context. Eskimo, and I was just like, what?
It's 7
Anywho.
and I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, so you're...
Back on
So we
topic.
run into so they look up. They're trying to look up stuff about like a Ryuga or something, and then they run into like a website for Ori Journal, which was the news reporting place from Ryuki.
I was wondering if that was from Ryuki.
Well, what happened beforehand was apparently Gates and Zio, they've been fighting another Ryuga
For a week.
for a week now, and he just keeps vanishing. It's like,
It's so awkward because, like, the opening scene of Wool trying to summon Mirror Shinji happens, and then abrupt cut to Zio and Gates fighting another Ryuga for what is apparently the 5th time. That's one hell of a time jump.
and it's like, oh, where'd he go? I don't know. And I'm like, there's a van there. He hopped in the reflection of the van.
Yeah.
Use strength. We'll also find a Mew there.
There's a van there.
There's
He's in the
also
van. Check
behind
the
a
van.
Mew there.
Check the van.
Oh
Like
my
the-
god.
Check the van.
So the cool
Oh,
thing
we've trust a man in a big white van.
when we see another Ryuga fighting, the cool thing that we immediately notice is that while it's fighting, it makes drag blacker sounds.
Yeah, that's more like it.
And it even summons mirrors to reflect attacks that the riders shoot at it.
Oh yeah,
After he gets hit by it, though.
because that was a thing riders could do in Ryuki. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
But the funny thing is, like,
that was never a thing that Ryuki.
no, but they're really hamming up the mirror aspect. But what
Yeah,
really
build couldn't suck human beings into bottles either, but that didn't stop another build from doing it.
But yeah, it's like
Or did it?
They take the idea and twist them around. But what really bugged me about the way they chose to approach the counterattack is Gates' line of thought goes, well, if he reflects all our attacks, I'll just have to attack him before he reflects it, even if it gets me killed. And my immediate thought is, you could just, like, fight him in melee, like, punch, kick, or use your goddamn axe.
No, because this is Neo Heisei. We need to fight with fancy powers.
So use your fancy melee attack axe!
No.
My entire response would be, why don't you just try to take him out? Because I think if they defeat him, wouldn't he still revert back into not being the another rider form?
No, I got it.
Couldn't they just literally defeat him, and then he couldn't reflect their attack?
I've got it. You know what Ryuga's ultimate weakness is?
What?
A fucking rock. They should have just thrown a rock at his mirror.
We'll foreshadow it by throwing the rock at the mirror.
Charlie Brown.
Rock.
Why didn't they just throw a rock at us?
So
Because it's like a magical mirror. The rock would have just thrown back and hit them in the face.
Yeah, probably.
Blaze.
He had a sheet of paper.
Oh no!
Let's just throw a rock at it. Oh!
Right, Gar, what were you saying?
God.
Rock meets mirror.
Whatever you're fiddling with, please put it down.
That.
Sorry. It's a trigger machine.
well, you triggered Gar.
Well, sorry, just every 5 seconds I just hear clickety click.
Sorry, I triggered you with my machine.
Oh, you're fired.
I'll do it
All
the Kamen Rider Zeo style. I'll just bash it with the rock. Gates, you don't want to do that. Oh, but I do. 50 points if you get that reference.
That sounds familiar.
Wild West.
Oh.
I want to watch.
I'll do it Jim West style. I'll just bash it with a rock. Gordon.
Hey, nothing.
Don't want
I've
to do
never seen
that.
that.
It's a hated movie, but I like it.
You know what? I will give the Time Jackers props because their plan is to make Ryuga himself another Ryuga. Because how the bloody fuck can they get a Ryuga ride watch now?
Oh yeah, because she's. Yeah, because Ryuki doesn't have a timeline anymore, so.
So he doesn't have a timeline now?
Yeah, like Ryuki,
Ryuki happened.
Spoilers for a show from fucking 2002.
Yes.
See how cool this is?
Throw!
It doesn't exist anymore.
You are a toy!
That kind of confuses me.
Nobody remembers it. Everybody
Confuses
died,
me.
and then the final wish was used for everybody to come back and not remember anything.
And it's funny because Kamen Rider Ryuki is like one of the most popular shows in Japan.
Fucking somehow!
Well, no, it's popular because
Believe me,
anybody
like that
was a
always
rider.
makes me super
Relatable.
sad, but I understand them as well.
Yeah, so it's like
It was the first show to have that many riders.
So,
imagine my favorite show is about the hero that doesn't remember being a hero.
In full-on canon, he doesn't remember being a rider, even though he's been in like other movies.
Crossovers do not count.
Yeah.
But
no, crossovers do not count.
okay, but if
Do they count if they
just
explain
I
stuff?
don't know how Ryuki works, but I mean, if the Rider War never happened, then how can there be like a Ryuga without a being a reflection
I've
of
gone
Ryuki?
cross-eyed.
No, because Ryuga
Movie
comes
timeline
from,
is separate.
Yeah, the movie, which is called Kamen Rider Ryuki Episode Final for some reason,
Because it was a better attempt at the ending.
That takes place in another timeline where Ryuga survived, where there was a Ryuga, because in the main show there was no Ryuga.
I just asked White Waz if they can borrow his time machine, which can apparently travel through timelines.
Did they ever say in the Ryuki series that there were 13 riders? Because
when Kamen Rider Scissors died, Knight did mention there were 13 riders.
Even though 2 of them did not show up in the series.
Well,
3 of them.
Yeah, Fame, Verde, and Ryuga never showed up in the show. So my headcanon is that Knight already killed them, or they weren't sent out.
Or they just got eaten by monsters.
Or they just got eaten by the mirror monsters.
Yeah.
Or they were lazy.
So what's really sad is
or 3 of the riders were just DLC.
So Sogo runs into the original editor-in-chief of Ori Journal.
Henshincho! It's Okubo!
The guy that flipped the finger in Ryuki. I kid you not. in one shot of Ryuki, he's cleaning his desk and like he takes his finger to make sure there was no dust on it, and he just looks at his finger. He's like, "Yeah, it's the middle finger." He's flipping people.
Anything fan.
Well, yeah,
Except they totally know it means something.
Yeah,
I've seen it
it's like in
That's
This is for
amazing.
not making me a rider.
It's like that video of Mr. Rogers like doing like a counting game or whatever with like some children he's singing to or whatever, and he's entertaining and just like he accidentally like does this with his fingers. And he does like, the double bird. It's really funny.
He's flipping the bird.
So this was really sad because like Sogo goes up to Okubo and he's
I
just
thought
like
you were
he's
gonna
like,
say it's very sad that Mr. Rogers didn't flip the
no, didn't do it intentionally.
Yeah.
But so like he asks him, he's like, oh yeah, so you like used to like report on the news, right? He's like, yeah, we did news for the readers, but now we're irrelevant because everyone can just do anything now.
No, what they said was that their content was provided by readers because back then the newspaper was the primary source of news. But now everyone can just post whatever they want wherever they want. So Ori Journal was put out of business by bloggers.
These
And-
damn kids
and
their
smartphones.
spots and YouTubes.
And which,
Fucking Steve Jobs ruined Orange Journal.
to be fair, that does seem believable.
Yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense,
it's
and that's
true.
why it's hilarious.
Like
It's sad.
it's sad but understandable. It's like times change. Like times have literally changed in the last 17 years
Mm-hmm.
since
And writers
Ryuki.
sense in more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
Like times have definitely changed, and it is also sad to see like Okubo all by himself.
He's just sitting there. It looks like he's fishing.
Yeah, because like he was always with.
Fishing in like a underpass area. Are there fish there in Japan?
It reminds me of the area you went
If
to
you
fish in
believe.
Persona 5.
Well, it was
reminds
probably
me
like,
of the area where they're fishing in Otsumatsu-san, so I'm guessing there actually are fish there. in
Probably.
Japan.
But they do end up finding Shinji, who is passed out in his house or in his apartment. Which
Was that his actual apartment from Ryuki?
we never actually saw Ryuki's
Probably
place.
not.
No, because Shinji throughout the show, Shinji lived with Ren in the cafe.
Oh.
And then he would also live like under his desk sometimes.
Yeah, under his desk. He never.
Oh, yeah.
He was kind of poor.
Yeah.
Shinji
Sorry
was.
for rambling before.
And then
Oh, that's okay.
Shinji died. Spoilers. Spoilers. Everyone died in Ryuki.
Spoilers for a 2002 show.
Spoilers for a show that came out in 2000.
You had your chance.
You're not
Spoilers
a true
for a show
Rider
with
fan if you've
15
been
different
watching the show.
endings.
Okay, to be fair,
Ending number 5.
to be fair, out of the 4 endings, one was for the show. The movie doesn't count as an ending.
Which is funny because the movie ending is the one I like the best out of the 4.
And then there were
Why
the
did-
13 Rider special,
and
which
then
had
there
2
was-
different endings.
Yeah, then there was the special 13 Riders that had 2 endings because it was viewer's choice.
Yeah.
You complain about X8 having too many endings.
No, XA doesn't know when to fucking stop.
And, yeah, X8 just didn't end.
XA, because the game is
Yeah,
forever.
remember, the
Hashtag
game is
shut the
forever.
fuck
Yeah.
up. Shut up before I freaking unplug you.
And then they just erased the timeline, so now it doesn't
Fuck
matter.
you, Gar.
I'm sorry, XA will forever be shit. Because I love...
That's your opinion.
That's like your schwa, man.
Everyone's
yeah.
entitled to their stupid opinion.
But yeah, they effectively break into Shinji's apartment, and whoops, he's dead.
And which I felt like it was a good callback to the first episode of
Except
Ryuki,
he wasn't dead.
because Shinji shows up in an abandoned apartment with all the mirrors and with all the glass and
papered
windows,
up.
all covered up in paper, and just no one was there, and he just found something. Like he found the ride deck,
Mm-hmm.
or the
They
advent
show
deck.
up, oh no, he's dead. But he wasn't.
Stop telling everyone I'm dead.
I'm not dead!
So he wakes up in a hospital, sees a window, immediately.
Oh God, he's coming!
Sees a mirror.
But right before that happens, and this is something I actually talked about with somebody last night. Gates is talking to a White Waz and asks
Which I
what
call
the time,
froth.
their future, what the timeline is like if he beats Zio, and he says that it's at the perfectly peaceful and tranquil time. Like it's almost as if time is standing still.
Which is clearly meant to
And it's-
hint at
it's
this
a
is not a good
foreshadowing,
timeline.
I feel like I have exactly what's gonna happen.
What's going to
The
happen?
current timeline with all the future writers, and what I'm thinking is a like quote unquote true timeline where Gates does what he says he's going to do and helps Zio become a good king. But for some reason, Waz wants to reset everything and just wants to end time, but really can't do that with Sogo being being the king of time. So he's going back to having Gates kill Sogo.
Oh,
But
no,
if he
I've
does
gone
that,
across
then that means Omazeo was never a thing. And if Omazeo was never a thing, Gates never went back to kill Omazeo, meaning Omazeo was a thing, meaning
We've
Gates
officially
went back
reached
to kill
Chrono
Omazeo.
Trigger levels of bullshit.
It's
Like-
meaning that literally the second that killing blow is struck, time will basically come to a complete halt. A perfectly peaceful scene for the rest of existence.
Get
And then the Hugto Precure will show up to stop it.
Get Lavos, motherfuckers.
Because that's literally what their season was about.
But yeah, I was basically thinking along the same lines where Froz basically wants to effectively stop time so that bad things can't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether or not we're accurate of him like that, like what I was saying was accurate at all. A mysterious character saying time itself being stopped and using that to describe something, yeah, he's not to be trusted.
Yeah, which makes me wonder
Also-
how the fuck one of those forms from Extra this week happens. I won't go
But
into
that
detail.
just reminds me of the fact that for a guy he's clearly doesn't care about the timeline of it makes me think he's not from the timeline where Gates beats Zio, because for a guy whose timeline would supposedly require Gates to beat Sogo on a specific day, he sure wants to kill him earlier than that.
It's hard to say.
I liked in the episode when just like Waz like is talking to Sogo and talking to him about shit like Omade and stuff, and then just he's turning around just
Sogo
talking.
just walks off.
Sogo walks up.
He's
He's
give a
like,
fuck.
He's like, Wagamo!
Welcome home.
Oh yeah. Also, we're at 41 for Wagamos now. So
And we're at
Nice.
17 Waga Kyuseishus.
you're getting there.
Yeah, so we get to the odd point with Gates and muscle bound purple jacket guy
Schwartz.
Schwartz, like like Spaceballs.
Or Dark Noir.
SWARTZ.
Okay, so the German word for dark. Okay,
Schwartz.
Yes.
so he mentions to Gates. It's like, oh, if you kill Shinji, then another Ryuga will disappear.
What is this, Persona? We gotta kill the shadow?
Well, no, it's a common thing with Ryuki.
Yes, it's a common thing.
Pun intended.
I'll stab myself.
But yeah, but with Ryuki,
I'll help.
it was like a way to beat a rider is to either A, kill them, or B, destroy their deck and destroy the Advent deck.
Destroy their power source.
Yeah, their power source, so that their mirror monster will kill them. Because inside each Advent deck is the contract with
Yep.
each mirror monster.
Mhm.
Destroy the Advent deck, there goes the contract. In which that's
Don't
where
worry,
I
I
feel,
made copies.
in which
I
that's-
refer to as the DNEA, the Do Not Eat Agreement.
Well, that didn't happen to Scissors. He got eaten.
He got launched.
Yeah, he got munched, and he was the first rider to go.
That we know of.
Yeah, in the show, he was the first one to go.
If is good.
Okay, let's see here. Scissors, Guy, Raya,
Tiger.
no,
Emperor.
yeah, Emperor,
I mean-
Tiger,
Oja Zolda.
no,
Alternatives.
Zolda,
It's kind
No.
of sad that
Zolda,
with-
Ryuki, Zolda, Oja, Knight.
Agito Fies.
No, Oven,
kinda
Knight. There we go.
it's kind of sad that whether it's in Japan or America, there's one rider who does not have a very unique name. In one he's called Tiger, and the other he's called Axe.
Yep.
Oh, I
Then
think,
again, most of the names from
oh.
Dragon Knight are not great.
okay, I'll admit to that. I have not seen Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, even though Ryuki is one of my favorite. Is my
I know
favorite
it's
show.
quite popular.
I have seen bits and pieces of it. It's pretty good.
I watched the entire series, and it's slow to start, but once it gets going, it's fucking amazing.
Like I heard it got an Emmy for action.
It's pretty good. It's mostly
The
original
last
too.
episode didn't air on TV. They only put it on the website.
The last episode was not on TV.
They come up with some Star Trek levels of sci-fi plot in this.
They were actually hoping for a movie.
That'd be cool. The Ryuvi.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So anyways, Zio tries to unlock his new power source or something that was mentioned like another episode, I think.
He yoinks it from his uncle who was trying to fix it.
Oh, was that his uncle?
And he fails
I thought it was
massively.
his grandparent.
No.
But what was interesting is that we find out that the Zio2 ride watch is apparently the thing that turns him into Oma Zio.
I fucking knew it! The second I saw that gold trim on the design, I was like, do you want Omazeo? Because that's how you get Omazeo.
Yeah, but apparently
How does that make him Omazeo was the question.
Doesn't this mean now that since he's turning into Zio2 that the Omazeo timeline has already ceased to exist? Because now he
Or-
already has a power set for it.
Or it could be that Zeo 2 is an intermediate form. Like a middle form.
Zio2 Oma! The two isn't a number, it's
Boys
a
to
transition.
Boys to Zeo.
Boys
So-
to
so-
Zeo!
So this,
Oh, this is cool. Ryder Customs here, and he's got Waz featuring New Deno. It's neat.
Boys just wanna Oma.
so
That's what I call an homage.
So this is my only disappointment about next week's episode of Zio, since I know this is going to be a two-parter. It's going to be disappointing to know the fact that we will not be getting Kamen Rider Zio or Kamen Rider Gate's Ryuki armor. Simply
Wait a
because...
minute. Actually, how did Omazeo have the Ryuki ride watch? Because like they said in this, there is no way to get the Ryuki ride watch.
Unless he used Decade to summon Ryuki's powers and then put it into a ride watch.
That could have been how.
Yeah,
it
but he can't really do that unless he has the ride watch to begin with.
Well, think of it. Aren't there blank ride watches or something?
exactly.
So yeah, he
but
probably
that requires
no.
the power of the power of the rider to be put into it.
Well, think of it this way.
He ripped him
No,
out of
no.
the 13 Rider special.
No, think of it this way. He turned into Decade, summoned Ryuki, and then put Ryuki's powers into a blank ride watch.
Fucking, I could believe that at this point. I could believe that at this point.
I mean, it's logic.
This is what happens when you cross a show that has a bunch of time travel with a show that erased its entire timeline multiple times.
Well, because
This show has long since spiraled way out of my ability to keep track of its own
my
bullshit.
brain hurts and I'm actually slightly on the verge of
Here's
tears.
the thing. I completely understand every aspect of the 17 years of the Kingdom Hearts timeline. I could recite... I'm planning to write a goddamn video essay about it, maybe. And this show confounds me.
because this show's trying to do too much, I feel like.
I don't know what anyone wants or why, and they're not trying to do it, and the timelines are unexplained, and why anyone does anything is just... Ugh! Who is writing this? Can I kill them?
The ninja.
Yeah, the guy that wrote Ninja. You know, the guy that made sure that there was no plot.
Yes, Emily.
One thing I did notice though was that they did a pretty good job of explaining the stuff using the chessboard metaphor.
Yeah.
It actually did help a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like,
Where they had
Imagine,
the
like-
characters slamming the pieces down.
like you.
Oh, in
Yeah, I
Kingdom
like
Hearts?
that too, but I'm like,
Yeah.
no, in this episode. But
Oh,
like, you know
I
how
was
in
in Kingdom Hearts.
like,
Why not both?
but they also did it in this episode. But you know how in Doctor Who, the Doctor described time as like a big ball? The Kamen Rider timeline at this point is just like a fucking blanket with how many different timelines it has.
It's the time blanket.
It's like someone trying to knit you a fucking quilt, but they're so bad at it that it's just a giant tangled fucking mess of 20 different colors.
You know what this is?
They call it a blanket, but they somehow turned like a bunch of string into a spool of yarn.
At this point, it's a fucking poncho that the writers are wearing.
Well, from what I understand, Zio does not care about the actual timeline.
No, that's why they're erasing them.
It only cares about like the key elements from these shows.
Well, yeah,
So-
because the timeline is erased.
Yeah. One part that I thought was funny is Froz shows up and henshins into featuring Quiz and starts fighting another Ryuga, and he posits a question like, "You are undefeatable, but I can defeat you, Maruka Butsuka." And then he gets shocked when the answer is wrong.
Yeah, and it
was like,
pops up
oh,
on
no.
his shoulder. It was cool.
And
It's like, oh no,
And-
my bullshit powers have run out.
And even though someone asked him earlier to use his fucking cheat-ass iPad to kill another Ryuga, he never thinks to actually try doing that.
Yeah, he could easily just say, "Oh,
Another
Gates
Ryuga
can see a
fucking
Ryuga
explode.
ride watch." Ryuga gets the another ride watch just disintegrates and turns into powder.
Mirror
The
Shinji
animator
catches a
suffers
cold and
fatal
can't.
heart attack.
Mirror Shinji catches a cold and can't come into work that day.
Then again, thinking about it,
Is his work
even if they
being
just say,
evil?
"Oh, the power disappears," there's nothing. We don't know that there's anything keeping them from reusing like previous Another Riders, because I think it's just like, oh well, they have that rider's power now, so I mean this rider's off the table, even though we could still use it again.
Yeah, I like that they specifically mentioned like, oh, we can't use Ryuki because this is Ryuga. This is different.
Oh no.
One other thing that was interesting is Gates uses his time burst, but Zio like knocks him out of it. Like, no, don't kill him.
Yeah, don't kill him. It's like, why not? He'll just come back.
Don't kick him in the face. He'll kick you in the face with your own foot.
Yeah.
Now, you know what would have been interesting to see in this episode? Kenzaki
I think.
come back.
Sorry, what?
Kenzaki,
From Blade?
or not Kenzaki. Tenzaki.
Kanzaki.
Yeah, Kanzaki. Sorry, it's late.
When they
I
go
don't know. I don't know. I think watching another Ryuga kick Gates in the face with Gates' own foot would have been pretty interesting.
It would have been funny if it was Kanzaki, because like when they go into his apartment and see the windows all papered out, I'm like, is he trying to hide from Kanzaki? Is he still around?
Well,
That's that guy.
well, no, it would have been at least interesting to see Shinji, like if they like talk to him or something, and he mentions like, I've been having these dreams, like
Is any of this for real or not?
like maybe he mentions like once in a while he remember like
The original timeline seeps back into him through his dreams.
yeah.
What is this, Steven Universe?
Yeah.
Maybe-
No, because that was. I don't even want to finish that sentence because
Spoilers.
I would have liked to see something like that with it, where it was like somehow he gets like after seeing another Ryuga, he gets like flashes
No.
and doesn't know what's going on,
No.
and then like in order to help and maybe like at the end of next episode, like they see where he's still confused and stressed over how he doesn't know where these memories keep coming from. They show him the different timelines of Ryuki where he was a hero.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. Ryuki was
Just a
never,
montage shown in the glass.
like Ryuki
Yeah.
was never considered a hero. In fact, none of them were considered heroes.
He was the one trying to stop the fighting.
He was until he got to the point where
Until they pissed him off.
until like episode 34 where he goes up to Ren and he's like,
Fuck you.
"Let's fight." And
For
he's
the
like,
love we share, let's fight.
yeah, he's like,
Cause we need to care, my friends. Let's fight.
Okay.
Sailor Moon.
and Ren's all like, "Why?" It's like, think of it. A few of us have already died. Sooner or later, it will just be you and me duking this out. And that's how they show off the final form for Ryuki. Just fuck it, let's fight.
Yeah, I've seen that scene, and that is probably one of my favorite final form, first final form henshins ever.
That was definitely
Because he just pulls it out of his ass, and it just like
well, no, it's not that he pulls it out of his ass. It's just Kanzaki. Yeah, Kanzaki gave him a piece of the survive card because there are 3 survive cards.
I know that much, but it's just like you're not expecting it, and then all of a sudden he just pulls it out, and it's like, oh, some shit's about to go down.
Yeah,
You activated my trap
Yeah,
card.
this is what happens when people decide to just watch clips and not the actual show.
Yeah.
You know what? That's Kamen Rider Zero in a nutshell. They skimmed through the entire series, they skimmed through the entire franchise without looking at the key importance of these shows.
Well, I mean, I guess that they want to sort of do it so that people who haven't seen the shows can understand it as well, but that's still not an excuse.
But it's the show, from what I understand, is supposed to be a celebration. It's like, so embrace the good parts. Don't try to be like, oh yeah, it didn't happen.
So anyways, let's talk about the good parts of this episode.
Okay.
So during the last fight with another Ryuga, Zio gets dragged into the mirror world with him.
Yep.
And who decides to saunter on up but a mirror clone of Sogo?
He's fucking edgelordy evil.
He's got
Yeah.
swagger. He's got grace. He's gonna
Spider-Man
punch you in the
3
face.
Sogo.
So then he decides, it's funny because Sogo goes up to him and he's like, oh, so you're like another me? Let's work together and defeat the other rider. Just fucking push him. Huh?
You're me from the Gaim line.
Yes, I'm you.
I am a shadow.
Yeah,
the
he
true self.
mentioned something in the episode where he's like, "Oh, so you're like me from 3 days ago?"
Yeah,
The
so
Gaim
there,
arc.
in the Gaim episodes, Sogo traveled back in time 3 days ago for when you
So
already
there's two Zeos.
So there were 2 Sogos.
It's
Each of them.
funnily enough, it gets really fucking stupid, but it's the most beautifully has the most beautiful
like
effects and cinematography of the whole series.
Even Woz like goes up to him and goes, "Dude, don't fucking do that. Don't just go back in time to your own timeline."
But at first
anyway.
glance, he seems really into it.
So then Mirror Sogo decides to transform into Mirror Zeo, and it's awesome because like the Zeo Ride Watch, it just goes like. Sounds all like corrupted. It's like,
all right. It's absolutely hilarious because just not a week ago, I was just telling Elaine while he was playing with the Zeo Ride Watch that I was starting to get really sick of Zeo's like henshin chime, and then this motherfucker saunters up and just like Zeo. And the fucking distorted sound when it comes in
Rider to time.
fucking badass!
The evil
Overkill, I think,
version.
brought something up, and I'm gonna see if I can try to find it. I think he said something like he listened to it, and the actual the chime is literally like the time. Apparently, the chime is like something. The chime is literally the opposing tune with it backshifted. So I don't know what that really means.
The finer details are not super important, but the point is, this immediately cured my problem with Zeo's henshin chime, and I've immediately pre-ordered the mirror set.
Because you like the version
both.
that sounds edgy better.
Wait,
Yeah.
Ichi, are you gonna do Zeo armor?
No, you know what the funny thing is about getting the mirror Zeo Ride Watch? It'll pair really well with my Beyond driver.
Yeah, I brought that up before when I saw that. It's like, well, yeah, now it'll work in the Beyond driver better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never got the actual Zeo Ride Watch, so this will be a good substitute.
But yeah, I don't know why. Just like I love just the opposite on his visor.
Right?
I like it so much.
And the funny part about that is after they both henshin, you see them standing like right close to each other, and it looks like a loading screen from Mortal Kombat 3 where they're like standing and about to fight while the fight loads.
Mirror.
It's a fucking mirror match.
I kind of want that to be a thumbnail.
With like the life bars on there? Or...
And like the little emblems that you rearrange to make the cheat codes.
Well, no. So what you do is, okay. So this will be like, it's not that hard to make a thumbnail, but like, do you remember like the loading versus screen for like Mortal Kombat 3?
Yes.
So like, just get
With
that
the gray background?
Yeah, get that background like from Mortal Kombat 3, and then just put Zeo.
Oh yeah, I could absolutely do that.
Okay, yeah, do that. That'd be fucking awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah. So honestly, I can't wait for next week's episode because like we get to see more of Mirror Zeo.
We also get to see Zeo 2.
Right.
And apparently they fight in the actual filming location where Scissors died.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I noticed that's the same location where they fought where they fought Scissors.
Nice.
Which there was actually a
I
point
just-
in time when I was watching Ryuki where I thought they were going to bring back Scissors.
Nope.
Because Odin used the time card in which they go back in time.
Not far enough.
It's like way back into the beginning of the show when like Ryuki finally became a rider.
Oh yeah.
So in which I was like, oh, I see Scissors in the preview. Okay, they're all gonna come back again, and it's like, nope, died again. I'm like,
Nope.
oh, I feel sorry for him.
Found this.
Wait, what?
I found that.
You never look at me during.
Oh,
Never look at me during.
That's terrible.
anyways, let's talk about the.
Being a woman. I don't know why I don't know why I said
Was
that.
featuring new Deno Vega? That actually looks good.
Are we going back to review old episodes of
I would-
LVP now?
I would love
We're
to
talking
just.
about being.
I would love to hear Woz say this. The face on my chest is merely for decoration.
Mune Nakawa Kazarida.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for him to say that.
Anyway.
Anyways, yo, cooks it up.
Master here, your koksuru.
So we're getting.
You're motherfucking under arrest for stealing my shit.
Did you just say your motherfucking arrest?
Yes, under arrest.
Hey, I'm the one who came up with saying you koksuru.
Hey, to be fair, Lane did say earlier you have the right to be a lawyer.
What?
No, I didn't.
I
was making a
still wish
21
that
Jump Street
that instead of Noel, we just had a third team that appeared. That was just a team of lawyers.
You have the right to remain. Siren.
You have the right to be a lawyer? You know, everybody has a right to be a lawyer.
You have the right. You have the right to retain a lawyer.
attorney.
Yeah, that's it.
You have the right. You have the right to an attorney.
Yeah.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Court of log.
I just like fucking suits and ties in their Sentai suits.
Yep.
They use briefcases that form for like blasters.
No. The briefcases open up and transform into the Zords.
That would be awesome.
They all have like gavel weapons, and one of them has like a powdered wig.
And
They've got like
money.
pen swords.
No, and they
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Oh, there's another. Yeah. So yeah, episode 50.
Anyway, Lupin and Bloopin.
The second final episode of the series,
Super Loopers.
where it's the second last episode. One of these generals is not like the other. One of them's gonna die.
I thought it was interesting though that I thought this was gonna be like the full final battle, and then next week's was gonna be like an epilogue.
Oh no, Sentai never
that's
does.
not what's happening.
Nope.
This is half the.
That's
final battle.
unfortunately a sad thing about these tokusatsu shows. They never really have just a straight up epilogue.
That's what the Returns movies are for.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like an
They don't do
epilogue
those
isn't
anymore.
like they let you sit down and think. Like they don't let the characters actually sit down and wonder. It's like, now what?
Well, but
No,
then
you know
there'd
what?
be no
No,
action.
you know what? I'm
Then there'd
sorry.
be no
I
action, and people would complain about
I'm
it.
sorry. I stand corrected. Kuga did that.
Yes.
Kuga's final episode was a huge epilogue for all the side characters.
Yep.
Where my fan theory will hopefully stay true, where Godai died.
Go die.
I mean, most of the last episode of X-Aid was an epilogue.
We don't talk about X-Aid. How many times
Is
did I
that rule
tell you
number one of
that?
X-Aid?
I barely count that as an epilogue since it barely wrapped up the story.
Yeah.
They just defeated Cronus. That was it.
Like an epilogue.
We'll make up. Oh, that's Belt. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tonight is so weird. I apologize.
So yeah, Lupinranger versus Patranger episode 50, aka the Lupinrangers story arc.
Finale.
Yeah, like the Lupinrangers finale.
Although it doesn't have them reuniting with their loved ones per se.
But
Lupin
they,
Rangers, adieu.
they at least get what they want, in which, let's talk about it, the final battle with Zamigo.
Oh, it was so good.
That was great.
Are we jumping that far ahead?
No, let's go in order here.
Alright.
So the episode opens with Lupin Red fighting Freezo-Amigo.
Oh, see? We're not jumping that far.
I gotta say, like, the start of this fight was really good because, like, just freaking he's jumping around everywhere. And
Kyrie slides
Fighting
under
the
furniture and then uses other furniture to block ice attacks.
I actually like the whole hotel room fight.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've always loved about Zamigo's freezing ice guns is that, like, if he hits you, you're done.
It's like the
Like,
one shot.
so I love that that's just the whole time with him. That's been the risk. Like, you can't get hit by those bullets or you're fucking done.
You're playing on Iron Man mode, motherfucker.
It's like freeze tag.
Yeah.
It's freeze tag.
It's freeze tag.
It's literally freeze tag.
Yeah, so that's why I loved when Kyrie just, like, blocked it, and I was like...
It shows how like skilled the Lupins are, how they're able to almost throughout the entire fight avoid getting shot.
Well, yeah, that's their motif. They're supposed to be flighty and dodgy and
Also,
shit.
this episode's maybe confirmed for me that I do not like Super Lupin Red. Like, I do not like that power-up. It looks bad.
I thought it was okay, but now that I know that Super Patronex is coming, he makes it work.
Well,
I mean, it was meant to be his, so...
I just remembered when what was I about to say? Oh, the Lupins are supposed to be just supposed to be dodging attacks and less defensive than the Patos. Meanwhile, the episode where they had to reveal their identities, I think it was Goshu did an attack, one-shot the Patos. Meanwhile, the Lupins get hit with not only that attack but several others afterwards and are perfectly fine.
It's
plot armor.
Yeah, it's plot armor. It's like G1 Transformers logic. Throughout the entire show, they get hit perfectly fine. Movie, one shot, dead.
Oh, also, that brings up a point. So, since this is next week, this is the last episode, I think you can safely say that the Patrangers are the only characters who lost a mecha battle this entire season. They lost 3 mecha battles.
Yep.
And Lupin's lost none.
On the plus side, they did kill a gangler by stepping on it.
Oh my god, that was insane. And
so I think we can call that even.
And then that inevitably ended with
No, well,
with
think of
Lupin Red taking kicking Keiichiro out.
I
to
mean-
make weird Lupin Kaiser.
think of it this way. They may have lost the battle, but the Patrangers, I am highly going to believe it. They're going to win the war.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
like-
of course they are.
Oh,
Sentai
yeah.
always has a happy
Like, the
ending.
Lupins can't get out until they do.
Like,
Yeah.
the Patrangers are going to be the ones that say, fuck everybody that hates us because we don't get accessories. We're going to take down the main bad guy.
Yeah,
By
that's
using-
why.
by
They're
using-
getting nothing but accessories.
By using a gimmick.
Like,
Yeah, this
Little shows-
the show airs are just like, all right, let's try these new toys that they fucking been using.
And-
Oh shit!
Anyways, so while Lupin Red is fighting Friezo, a bunch of giant Potomen are attacking the town. And,
because
Noel
there's no new monsters.
Yeah, Noel shows up with fixed goody, and he's like, well, Danya Boone sure fucked me up, but I can sure take out a bunch of mooks. Let's fucking go!
Pew, 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 pew,
Fuck this shit up.
So, both the
And they
Megazords go
save
by,
the day.
and we get a scene with Ex-Emperor that I can only describe as Dick Run and Dick Gun.
Hey, this is fucking awesome, man.
Emperor Dick Gun runs and guns. And then Toma and Umika wake up in the hospital. Neck chop the attending officer.
Judo chop.
Like either Toma wakes up like slightly afterwards, or he's been awake and just waiting out.
He's
But Umika
biding
wakes
his
up.
time.
A guy comes in and is like, "You're under arrest," and all of a sudden he's just on the floor, and Toma's just standing behind him.
And then they
takes his clothes.
and even though they're already in the GSPO in like the hospital wing, they decide to break into the GSPO's
They decide to
tactical
leave and
office
break back in.
through a window.
I thought they were in like just an actual hospital.
No, they're in the hospital wing of that building because
Alright.
the officer says they're under arrest, so they're presumably already in that building.
One thing though that I do like is basically when they break back in, they have to confront Sakuya and Tsukasa, like telling them who were saying that they're even if they wanted to give them their VS changers, they're injured, they wouldn't survive a minute out there, and then they remind them that Kairi has sustained injuries, has not gotten medical attention, and is still fighting. So they give them back.
Yeah,
Their
not to
changers.
mention
And when
they've also
but-
done it as well.
Yeah,
Like,
but
when
here's the
fighting
thing
Destro.
here's the thing that was my favorite part of the episode, and honestly, I have to give that Keiichiro has warmed up to me so much.
If you weren't
After
already
they
on
say-
board with
after they
Keiichiro by now, what's fucking wrong with you? He's been the best character.
He was really annoying at first, but after they say we gave them back their changers, for a split second you can see Keiichiro smile like he's proud of them,
Yeah, but
and that scene was just perfect for him to me.
He just
Not to
lets
kill-
himself be the proud dad for 2 seconds.
yeah, not to kill the mood of that scene, but it was so funny for me seeing them point their changers at Toma and Umika, and Saki's got his like sideways like, don't fuck with me, this is a kill
The
shot.
kill shot, yeah.
No, but
Don't fire it like that.
I
Fuck,
gotta
we'll hit you
give
back in the face.
I gotta give full respect for fucking Kairi for just like being injured as he was from that big of a blast. Pop some
Kairi don't give a
painkillers,
shit.
pop some painkillers, and just fucking go.
Because that's what you want in a kid
Entire
show.
bottle of painkiller, then fuck your shit up.
Well, remember when Keiichiro was poisoned in the hospital and went left to fight anyway?
Yeah, no, that's how I knew Keiichiro was my favorite fucking character because I'm like, no, nothing will stop this man from upholding justice.
But
Kairi's instance with this is a little bit more awesome though, because Kairi had to deal with major head trauma.
Yep. He
His
lost
head
his hat.
was bleeding last episode. Yeah, he lost his hat.
Oh my god, his hat trauma.
that moment when Lupinranger and Patrangers could be summed up as hi, I'm the Lupinrangers and I'm the Patrangers and welcome to Jackass. Hey, you guys are gonna do something that will kill you. Yeah, we love it.
It was so fucking awesome, like, while Lupin Red is fighting Amigo, and the fucking ceiling explodes, and blue and yellow just fucking airdrop in.
Surprise,
You
motherfucker!
fucking rang.
It's Independence Day.
And like I like later Kairi makes like a comment being
Welcome
like,
to Earth.
I like that Kyrie makes a comment later, just being like, "Oh, I guess you guys must really like me or something."
Yeah, like they brought it up where the promise they made at the start of the show, like we must fulfill our wish even if one of us falls, and they effectively go, "Fuck that."
Yeah, we have to do this together.
Yeah, it's like
As a team.
we're buddies.
They learned their lesson
Yep.
about teamwork.
They learn their lesson. Friendship always wins.
Yeah, and Kyrie, I love the overtime sub because his line is translated there as, "When did I become Mr. Popular?"
We want to say
Dinner and a
nothing
movie
for
first, guys. Jeez.
And I'll see you. When? What? when will we see? Like out there? Not like I'm asking you for dinner or anything. Do you want
Vodka.
that for dinner?
So
Want to get dinner?
Noel hands the Lupins crane and bike and tells them about his plan, which we'll get into in a bit, but he helps them confront Friezo
The
once again.
awesome plan.
And
Yeah.
Friezo's like, "Oh, no fair, now there's 4 of you." And Toma literally responds with, "Fuck fighting fair."
Yeah, we're thieves. We're not gonna fucking follow the rules.
No. 4 against 1. That's not fair. Just who fucking cares?
And then we get
That's not fair. Sunglasses, deal with it.
and then we get the Lupinrangers roll call, and Lupin Blue just says it in the most angry voice. It was so fucking funny.
That's the angriest who's ever done it.
I hope that the Lupins actually do come out and help fight against Degranio next episode.
I know.
All
Because now
paths.
if they don't, then we don't get a scene. Then we don't get a scene with the Lupins doing the unmasked roll call.
Yeah, we do. We see it in we saw in the preview that everyone's going to do a helmetless roll call.
Which means
I only saw the Patos.
Which means, you know what's going to happen? I'm pretty sure, because Kyrie gave Keiichiro, or the Lupins all gave the Patos a couple of dial fighters, they're probably going to find a way to open the safe, and then they'll all team up on Degranio.
I'm going to be kind of upset now because I really wanted them to do a thing where when they finally do team up like this, they'd use a good striker, they use good striker in the Lupin mode, and somehow split Noel into Pattern X and Lupin X.
That'd
So
be
we
cool.
can have the full teams.
Scary,
No, I'll admit that was one thing I was really hoping to see in the show.
Maybe if they do a Returns movie.
If they do a V cinema, in which apparently there have been rumors that there might be another V cinema coming out, I hope we get to see both Lupin X and Patron X together.
If they do a V cinema, I hope that I hope that they start out evil, but by the end, at least the secret noise, Lupin Black, at least joins up with the Lupins, because he's an asshole. They're assholes.
I don't even care what the context is. I just want Lupin Black and Patron minus Ichigo to happen.
Yeah, because they were.
I want Patron Zero Go, and I need it to be Hilltop.
Right?
It has to be. Hilltop.
I want it.
I need it!
So what?
I want him. I just realized, and now I want this even more. I want him to do a fucking combiner scene where he fuses with Jim Carter to make Zero Go.
Oh God!
No!
Hey.
That's the reason
that'll be a
Jim
super.
Carter's primarily white. He's also a VS changer.
No. That will be Patron Zero Go's super form when he merges with Jim.
Hey,
he just turns into armor.
It's better than my crazy idea.
Jim Armor.
No, it's
Jim
my
Armor.
Patron Jim.
It's better than my crazy idea for Jim Carter in the Power Rangers adaptation, where he does a cast-off thing and becomes Kamen Rider Mach.
Oh God!
Same color scheme.
Please no.
Yeah, I need that.
Think of it. Same color scheme, same designs.
So, anyways, Zamigo and Degranio and all the teams show up at the same spot, and
One
Zamigo,
big happy family.
And Zamigo decides, you know what? Let's fight somewhere where we won't get interrupted. Hey, not Dad. Open up your infinite space safe so we
Let
can go
me
fight in
in,
there.
boss.
There was
Let
one
me in
more
your
scene,
heart.
There was one scene that we missed that was fucking badass. Kyrie takes the freeze gun away from Zamigo and tries to shoot it at him, but he dodges last second and he hits Noel. But this was all part of their plan, as when he then corners Kyrie, he does the other thing, bringing Noel much closer, unfreezing him, and then taking the collection piece.
Yeah.
I also like how when he drops his ice guns, they just shatter on the ground.
Yeah, that was always funny.
Yes.
And
It really, like, I'd seen it before, but it didn't really hit me until now because of what happens after.
You know what I'm sad they never did? I wanted so bad for Zamigo when he's gonna discard his guns to just throw them at someone.
And just shatter in their face.
Just like,
Yeah.
think fast!
Oh,
Yeah.
but stab bicycles.
Yeah, that was really cool seeing Kyrie fucking just use one of them. He's like,
Yeah.
fucking back here, you can't look and fight this side, can you, bitch?
And so they snatch the collection piece that is a recolored Shishio shuriken from the ninja.
Jesus.
So Zamigo convinces Don Yaboon to let them fight inside his safe. And inside the infinite space, which is apparently a fucking national park. One of the floating collection pieces I spotted was fucking Gabutira's leg.
I just thought something.
Was it in this or
Freezo-Amigo
the
says,
movie?
can we fight inside your safe? And Don Yaboon's response was, get in my belly.
Get in my belly! I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain!
Don Yaboon is just adult Kirby.
Well, my thought was like Kirby Squeak Squad. Was it Squeak Squad with the mixing abilities? Let me know.
I think there's Squeak Squad and a few others, but yeah.
Yeah, whether it's the stomach area. And...
Yeah.
So once they're inside, in a last-ditch maneuver, blue and yellow get frozen in the process, but they manage to pull this amazing maneuver.
Trigger machines on his safes.
And I knew it! I knew from the start that the trigger machines would do something with the safes, and we finally found out what it is. They lock them and reset the combinations.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Trigger machines are a soft reset.
I'm sad they didn't actually pull the trigger on them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They just like.
Well, pulling the trigger probably would have been like blow up the safe.
Maybe. That's an interesting
That
idea.
would have been much more effective.
And one thing that I didn't know about Zamigo is that apparently he didn't actually have anything in his 2 gold safes.
No, yeah, he explicitly said that his ice gun powers didn't come from a collection piece. It was an innate ability he had, but it required him to pull them out of the empty safes on his legs. It's a little weird, but
So
whatever.
he's basically just pulling them off of his internal body.
Sort of, but it apparently requires the safes, because once they locked the safes, he was no longer able to spawn more guns.
And then what do they do?
Yeah.
Blow a fucking hole right through him.
After shooting off his hat,
Yeah,
they shot off
shoot
his hat.
and it shatters like ice. It's awesome.
You gotta use your hands? That's a baby's toy.
I didn't know this was a hat. It wasn't.
It was my brother!
I was just thinking of the Nun Piece moment. Just, oh my hat!
Every time I think of hats, I just think of Toy Story.
Yeah.
I am rubber and you are fat. Don't you dare touch my hat!
But yeah, like...
I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
that's
Well,
fucking
apparently, when I was like 6, that was my favorite line in a movie ever, and I would make
Woody.
my dad do
Howdy,
it all the
howdy,
time.
Can we get a figure of that? Just the fucking
The shark?
Woody's
Yeah.
hat?
Oh, I got a figure of the shark.
Oh, cool.
You do?
Yeah.
Does he come with the hat?
No.
Anywho,
yeah,
When they defeat him, I wanted so bad for either Zamigo or the Lupins to just go, Aeni, adios.
Hey. Chill.
Chill.
But yeah, they blow a motherfucking hole
Alright,
through, and
everyone.
you see the lava or whatever, like the remains of like the blast, or whatever, just like oozing like out of the hole, and just I was like, wow.
It was very neat to see what they did, because basically, Toma and Umika are like they both got chilled.
They're dead.
Yeah, they both got chilled
But,
over, and then Kyrie shows up and uses the Lupin Magnum to fire a Lupin Fever attack.
Yeah.
And just like as it goes through him, he turns into like a giant icicle shard, and then just falls apart, but then explodes.
And you
And
see the
as-
reflection of him.
Yeah, like one chunk of him flies forward towards the camera, and you see his human face in it. And
Yeah,
it's
it's like
so nice.
reflecting. That was cool. That felt like a
This
end
was
of a boss battle, like a video game.
that was a
boss.
kind of gruesome death, going along with Keitro shooting the biker repulsion cannon inside the safe, blowing that one gangler from the inside,
Right.
and the other one time where they literally decapitated one with Cyclone.
Yep.
Oh god, I forgot about the decapitation.
Yeah, no, the gangler deaths in this show.
Decapitation!
The Kaijin deaths in this fucking Sentai have been
And
so
one got
good.
stepped on by
Yep,
the
there was
megazord.
the one who got stepped on.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
I have to admit, Loops.
And then just
You're
we
pretty
get
chill.
this such great feelsy scene where just like, you know, everyone comes back and it's great. Like they get put back at the spot where they got frozen in the first place.
You know what? That
Like a
kinda-
good Sentai monster.
And I really love that sound of just like the ice fucking
But,
breaking. I really like that
just-
sound.
I'm sorry, but you know what that kind of reminded me of?
Hmm?
I cannot remember the show's name to save my life, but it aired on like Teletoon and it had like toads in it, and like they find out like toads would turn into like a
Toad Patrol.
Yeah, Toad Patrol. Like they would turn into like a
Holy
mushroom
crap.
thing or
Except
something,
they do not look anything like toads. They look like little like
yellow things.
I'll
Battletoads.
get a picture of what they
Yeah,
look like.
But yeah, it's like like they would turn into toadstools, and it's like one.
Oh, the
like,
Toad Patrol.
and like one of their goals was to like bring everyone back.
Like adult ones look like
Yeah.
toads, but the kid ones look like.
I don't think I've ever seen
You
that.
never seen Toad Patrol? I watched a bit of it.
They look like little.
I remember
ants or
one of them
whatever.
was like always like super fucking depressed.
That was like a character type back then.
Yeah.
But I don't know why that just reminded me of that, but just it felt so heartwarming,
But yeah.
but also depressing at the same time
hmm
because the Lupinrangers have been fighting for 2 years just to like seize Amigo again and to say just to bring back their loved ones. Just to be stuck inside the stuck inside their worst.
but I love.
The thing is that what I really like is they don't care. All they care about is the fact that they did it. They saved not only the people their loved ones, but all the ones who weren't yet disguised. They saved hundreds, if not thousands, of lives.
Except for everyone who already got turned into a disguise. Whoops, they're
Yeah.
dead. All the way dead, including previous Nego.
What about him? Oh,
What
he's
happens
dead.
if the person What happens if the person who was frozen in an area which is now covered by coated in rubble because of Danya Boone?
Then they go to Traverse Town.
Anyways, this was a really
They're
good
literally just
episode.
inside a wall.
Well, hang on. One last.
No, they're inside a wall. There's a magic dial fighter. They went to platform 9 3/4.
You were saying, Lane?
No, just last thing. I really like that, like when like Umika and Toma come back, just Kairi just immediately just like fucking guys, we did it! We fucking defeated him! And he's just he's so happy.
Like, I get they're super happy, but it's super awkward seeing Kyrie just glomp them.
It doesn't
It's not
help
a
that
group
one of the
hug.
main characters named Kyrie.
It's not
Right?
a group hug. It's a. Sorry.
That's always what I.
Kyrie learned to use a keyblade.
It's not group hug. It wasn't a group hug. It was a loop hug.
Aww, you're
Oh
fired.
god, I'm still thinking about the
You're on fire tonight.
That's high five number 3.
Will you give him another high five because I'm too far away? Okay.
Alright, with that out of the way, let's get on to this feature topic.
Yo, cooks are there?
Unfilm
You
edition.
cook the movie.
On film, Suru.
Unfilm!
Yes.
Alright,
So,
first off, this movie needs to be black and white. It needs to be in French.
It's not noir.
so
No, this is a French movie. So it's gotta be black and white.
Wait, we weren't supposed to watch Casablanca?
Shit.
No,
So,
we don't
yes.
watch trash.
for a feature topic, we were talking about
Excuse you.
Whoa.
We're talking about Kaito Sentai Lupin
Guard
Ranger.
go to the corner.
I'd like to state for the
Always
record that
say
Yellowcaster's opinion does not represent the mass opinion of all Radio Sentai Castranger in perpetuity
Guard, go
throughout
to
the universe and all
Or
of
go to
this.
the corner and think about what you've done.
Okay.
So our feature
Yes.
topic this week is Kaito Sentai Lupin Ranger versus Keisatsu Sentai Patranger.
The
AKA.
entire reason I wanted to be on this episode.
I'm gonna miss
Because
saying it.
this movie was amazing.
It was okay.
It was a half hour.
It was a nice, well detailed, well shot
To
episode.
quote Homer Simpson, the Family Guy crossover, buddy, I have a feeling we're gonna turn out to be really fine.
The movie's so nice, I watched it thrice.
You did.
I watched
Yeah,
half
it was
of
better than
on
Be the
my
One.
phone.
You know what? It was better than Be the One, and that's really fucking depressing.
I wasn't
remember-
really paying attention with Be the One.
It had some really good shots in it.
But this movie made me burst out laughing on multiple occasions, which is very hard to do at times. Like if
I don't know
something's
if I
funny,
found
I'll
it
give
that
a
funny.
chuckle. This made me just burst.
I'll admit, one of my minor problems with the movie is that it didn't really have a good build-up. It
was a half hour. What do you want?
at least like a 3-minute.
Yeah, the
introduction.
build-up was for the Be the One movie.
Yeah, Be the One was the build-up.
Build up.
You're fired.
I am
Good
so
night,
not.
everybody. I'll be here all week.
So anyways, Herlock Sholmes, the famous private detective, is flown in to help the Patos catch the Lupins and kill the
Why
Ganglers.
fly? We got fly.
Yes, he was flown in from England, where this
Yeah.
Japanese guy lives.
Right?
Why do you use a plane? We got magic flying
Hey.
trains.
I know that there are Japanese people in England, but
So for those who aren't aware...
Wait, how do you come from
No.
France if it doesn't exist?
No. No, just if you're wondering why is the British guy Japanese, go watch Battle Fever J. You'll understand why we just decided to stick with Japanese people for all this.
Racist. Anyways.
No. It is a valid reason.
So, for those who aren't aware and maybe wondering, well, are they just copying Sherlock Holmes? Yes, kind of.
Sherlock
Literally.
Holmes is an actual fictional character.
From the Lupin II novels,
Yep.
which was based off, with permission, from the actual Sherlock Holmes.
Like
Yep.
Sherlock Holmes writer.
Well, Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah.
That's the name of the author.
Or hang on, no, he wasn't allowed to use Sherlock Holmes, so he just did Herlock Sholmes. And it's like, okay, fine, you can't do anything about it.
I
It's
thought
not
that
Sherlock
he was allowed
Holmes.
to use it, but
Don't
there was
at me.
copyright stuff in place, so he couldn't use the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, I don't want to use my character Sherlock
Can I
Holmes.
copy your homework? Sure, just change it a little.
can I copy your Holmes
Hey, it's
work?
Free Soldier.
Can I copy your Sholm work?
God, it's
Yeah,
just
so
getting worse and worse.
for me personally, I really didn't get much from out of this movie just because, like I said, it was a fancier looking episode.
That's what
So-
That's
Sentai...
another reason to be mad at you.
To be fair, that's what the Super Sentai films are. They're just extended episodes.
That's why
what they've always been, and that's what they'll forever
the
be.
true Sentai films are the crossovers and the V cinemas.
For me,
Yeah.
the appeal of this movie was the very well done monster design of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
Herlock Sholmes, sorry.
Yeah.
Jack-
Spoiler alert: he was a gangler the entire
Sherlock
time.
Gnomes?
Who could have fucking seen it coming? Everyone!
The second he appeared, I was
Yeah,
just
he's the
thinking,
gangler.
He's a gangler.
You know what, Ken Pearl?
The
But
gangler.
That's the thing. I'm dumb as a stump, so that means it was very, very obvious.
Can
The
Herlock-
gangler. The
Can
gangler.
Herlock Sholmes be
like
dubbed
the
over
dead
by
guy.
Johnny Depp?
But yeah,
Sherlock
so
Gnomes.
Herlock Sholmes' monster design was very, very well done. It was a very nice mix of a mage and a foxfire motif.
So Kiwemon.
Yeah, it was Huemon, but better.
Oh.
And instead of like the shedding the skin or whatever for his transformation,
fucking
to human,
skin melted
he
off!
fucking- not just the skin, the flesh melted off. He
And
was a
see his
skeleton.
bones!
Skeleton, yeah.
That was like,
Like the
you
world
see
digested
You
his
see his
body.
bones.
So now I'm wondering, was this guy someone who just recently used actual Herlock Sholmes as a disguise? And if so, what was his actual name before that? Or was this guy, as a gangler, just stole the disguise of some random Asian dude, then moved to England and started a career as a world-famous detective, just so he could come back to Japan for this stupid half-hour plot that went nowhere,
yep.
or maybe
Knowing
he killed,
Japan, knowing Super Sentai, it's probably the latter.
right?
or maybe he killed the actual Herlock Sholmes.
Which
Yeah, but
leads
it
me to...
seems more like
But, like, if he wasn't the actual Herlock Sholmes, what was his actual name? Because he's never named anything outside of that.
Oh,
Maybe he was a
Let me
human
check
who
Ranger
got
Wiki.
corrupted and became
But
Herlock.
I
the
gotta
monster?
but I gotta say, his monster design is probably my favorite monster design in all of Lupin Pato. It was so good. If you looked at his head from the side, you could see the fox, like the kitsune design in his helmet. He had like light up fire eyes, and he threw like blue foxfire everywhere. It was fucking badass.
Foxfire.
But
and,
after
sorry.
after like Herlock lands, they he's getting bombarded by paparazzi and people asking for interviews, and he deduces that one who's standing outside the crowd is actually a gangler. Surprise, surprise.
You gotta wonder if that was actually if they planned that or if
I
he
think
just
so.
actually noticed him.
I think so.
Oh no, his name is actually Herlock Sholmes.
Yeah.
And then
Which is
Lupins
fairly-
come in and roll their card, which somehow defies all laws of physics and zigzags through a crowd.
I love that he can just like pilot the fucking Yokoku card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like it was remote controlled, like something Gambit.
Just Kari with a tiny little joystick.
No, just toss it. Tone, switch.
He's controlling it with the dial and the dial fighter.
Hey, what?
Best gummy ship mission ever.
Hey, Kari, what are you doing? Oh, it's the new Nintendo Lab.
so
It's the new
dumb.
Kaitou Labo thing.
Nintendo Labo Thief Kit.
Nintendo Labo.
Then Kaito Labo.
Now we need to make a gummy ship that looks like the card.
Oh god.
And then after that, it leads to a big fight and a group tension between the Patos and the Lupins.
We see.
And an amazing fight scene with the theme song playing.
Yeah. I'm still sad that even in the movie, we can't get a Lupinranger henshin where we see all three of them put in their dial code. It's always just red.
Basically with what I think, that opening
It would
with
take
the
too long.
theme song
Yeah.
playing while they're fighting the monsters
Then they
as well as each other.
They could split screen it, show them all at once.
That opening scene where they're fighting the monsters as well as each other while the theme song plays, and someone accidentally helping each other. That one fight scene basically sums up the entire series.
Yeah, pretty well. What I really liked Wilson too, because if you're paying attention, you can immediately tell that Wilson is supposed to be Watson.
Yeah,
Especially since he had a big mustache on his face.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then we get to the real main plot of this movie. Lupin Red and Keiichiro are captured and sent to the Gangler world.
Man,
Yep,
what's
and they're together, and they're
That's father and son.
No. It's the classic the two
Stuck
characters.
in the middle with you.
Basically, it's the two
a-
characters who are rivals who have to survive together.
It's a buddy thief movie.
Except it's really, really
Buddy
condensed.
cop and thief movie.
Buddy thief.
but,
I said what I said.
I like that Keiichiro was like, I could just rip your mask off right here, and Kairi responds with, "Yeah, but
We're
you
not
won't."
gonna do it yet.
Yeah,
Thanks,
There's this part
Kaito.
where they
Oh,
end
call
up
me Kairi.
dangling from a
Shit.
cliff
Yeah,
after a fight,
yeah.
and some of Kairi's blood drips on Keiichiro, and all I could think was him being like, "That tastes exactly like Kairi's blood." And
I've tasted this blood before. It's Kari's blood.
I don't know why that was my
No, just point this guy. Where are you going,
Okay.
Kyrie?
Emily, I don't know why you thought that, but thank you for thinking that.
When I saw that scene, and you see the blood dripping on Keiichiro's face, my thought was, "Don't fucking bleed on me, asshole!"
It makes me
Fucking
bleed
on me,
my
you
own
goddamn
blood.
Kaito.
When I saw that scene, my mind
I've been
instantly
tainted by
went-
thief's blood.
My mind instantly went to Spaceballs. Hey, quit looking at my can. Sorry.
Stop looking at my sleeve. I told you there was nothing there.
Yeah, you said that was good.
But I did like that one scene where they're just hanging off the cliff, and then that drop of blood does go on his face because he sees. Then he looks up and sees there's just blood pouring down Kyrie's arm,
Just like,
and he's still holding on to Keiichiro with as hard as he can.
yeah, just like, oh no, thief's
like-
blood. Now I'm infected.
You're infected with the thief virus.
Kind of
That's what the
showing
T stands
Keiichiro,
for.
like,
Yeah,
like even if I don't know, it's showing even if at this point in time in the series, I think is around when Kairi just hated Keiichiro with a burning passion, he still had mad respect for the guy.
oh yeah, they fought together when they had to, and it happened a
Yeah.
lot.
While I started hating Keiichiro because he always seemed to prioritize going after the Lupins. Over time, it was nice to see him gain respect for them, and as he learned why they were doing what they did and everything.
Yeah.
And
So-
you got to think about it, in a way, it almost makes the Lupins kind of more righteous than the Patos in a way, because with the Patos, they're doing it as like because it's their job. Even if they took this job because they want to, it's their job. They're basically under requirement to fulfill these actions. The Lupins are just kind of like doing this to get their loved ones back, but also make sure that nothing happens to anyone else.
I just want so bad for the Lupins to just be talking to the Patos, and they're just like, "Wait, you get paid to be Sentai?
Yeah.
What the fuck?"
Actually, that reminds me. At the end of the series, I want this to happen. I want them to like not just say like what's the term for just say like, oh well, we free you of all your charges.
Absolve them, pardon them.
Yeah, absolve. I thought that was the word, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to sound like an idiot.
Pardon.
But I want pardon. I want them to pardon them for their crimes on the condition that they join the GSPO as like.
Oh, that'd be neat.
As a group like a
backup task
unit.
force.
Yeah, just going to places like, oh hey,
Black
this
Ops.
priceless artifact was stolen. Please get it back.
You're good at stealing stuff.
Yeah.
So while they're camping out in the Gangler world, who comes out of the bushes but the Jackpot Striker, who apparently escaped from the Gangler mansion but didn't have a way to get to the human world.
Cool, I like him. He's got a little crown on his dial.
And he's voiced by Cheetah Nick.
And you barely see him.
I like Jack.
Jackpot's cool.
And that leads to one of my favorite lines in the show when they hear the Gangler mansion, they force Jackpot Striker to lead them to it. Kyrie's about to just jump over with his grappling hook, and Keiichi's like, "Wait, isn't this breaking and entering? Calm down. You've been enforcing the power of the global police, right?" Yeah, I guess.
I love it because it's effectively, wait, aren't we breaking the law? You're a cop.
Yep.
You're a cop, and this is a den, and this is a criminal den.
This is a scum. This is a wretched hive
have
of
a
scum and
search
villainy.
warrant, Keiichiro?
How the fuck do I obtain a search warrant for a parallel
Alternate
reality?
dimension, yeah.
How do I obtain a search warrant for France?
I have
Dark
this
France.
is so dumb, but am I allowed to write that down? Because I want to use the
Yeah,
how do
yeah.
you obtain a search warrant for a parallel dimension at
Yeah.
some point in something, but I don't want to copy it.
I think we
And
can
you
just
get a
start
search
calling
warrant
it,
for an entire dimension.
we can just start calling this world Dark France.
Oh god.
Kuala Lumpur.
So we get a shot of inside the mansion, and you see just a bunch of Potomen walking around and talking, and you get really awkward but somehow funny shots of them just looking at the camera. Jaga, Jaga.
Yeah. So I like to think
Jack-
I like to think like all these Portermen that the
Yeah, you
Sentais
saying they
have
have
destroyed.
families.
They have families. Like, they have like Porterman wife and Porterman kids and,
And
a
the
little
dog is
Porterman
also a
dog.
I won't
Yeah.
believe that until I see a Potomen with a fucking woman's wig on it.
It's kind of funny to see when we saw like with Keiichiro and Kairi sneaking around the mansion. Kairi just when they're not when the Potomen aren't looking, just dashes behind them. Keiichiro just runs up and just punches them in the face or whatever, and just fuck you. Just runs
Excessive
up, snaps
force,
their
bitch.
neck. He runs up. What the hell, dude? He's a criminal. He must be punished.
But yeah, I'd like to see that the Potomen have personalities like that, but I don't see anything concrete about it. That's one of the things that I really liked about Q Ranger. The show had its faults, but you can't argue that there were mooks in any other Sentai with more personality than the Endiverse.
They were all really characters.
Well, I mean,
Oh, no, shit.
it does help that they were with an entire episode giving them personalities.
Fucking Endiverse Sentai, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the Keiichiro and Kairi sneak into right into Dogranio's dinner chamber, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And they overhear their plan about Herlock Sholmes, and then Keiichiro's like, "Oh no!" And then they hear them and start shooting at them, and I'm like, "God damn it, Keiichiro! Your fat mouth went and ruined it."
God damn it, Keiichiro! Just God damn it, Keiichiro! It was
Just-
one job.
Just goddamn.
Fuck you.
So while Herlock Sholmes is revealing his identity and fighting with the other four Rangers, Kay and Kairi get into this weirdly
K and K.
Yeah, the K brothers.
I never noticed until now their names both start with K.
Yeah. They get into this interestingly shot shootout with Destra and Ghosh, who, by the way, it's nice to see them again post-death or pre-death.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember you guys. You're dead.
Yeah. And it's really, really awkward, like, when Destra's talking and they focus on him, especially during the close-up of his head, and you can see the shape of the suit actor's head in his neck. Ugh, it's so janky.
And that's in the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, so they get into the shootout, and then Keiichiro decides to draw their
that
attention.
was negative. That's not what I meant. It's just, it's weird that in
Meanwhile-
the movie that would show up.
Meanwhile, in the real world, the deal between the remaining Lupins and Patos to just team up to take out what's his name again?
Wilson and Herlock?
Wilson, yeah.
Wilson!
And then Herlock reveals himself.
That was badass.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
Mr. Wilson.
Hey, Mr. Wilson!
I'm sleeping in your joint.
But
And I love it when Herlock walks up to them and declares that they're going to die, and he's like, "This is where your story ends, with a period." And he actually says, "Coco de period." Period. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Nice.
And what will you do?
Kyrie and
Watch over
Kit
the
and
sun.
Bitch, my story ends with an exclamation mark!
Kyrie and Keiichiro are able to distract Ghosh long enough to open her safe and shove in Jackpot Striker, who then proceeds to take over her body.
That's busted.
Yep.
I remember whatever episode we were talking about when I first watched this. You were saying like they did something like the Good Striker did something really like weird and like disgusting or something, like hit a monster like right up the ass or something. I was like, this one literally went inside of a monster and took control of it. While she was like moaning and saying no.
Yeah.
I think I know what crime Jackpot Strikers is a part of.
But yeah, so Jackpot Striker forces Ghosh to open the portal back to the real world. And
Kyrie sacrifices a collection piece.
And I really hate that scene because over the course of that whole scene, there is plenty of time for him to just yoink the fucking binoculars and grab them as they go through.
Even as he was running towards the thing, Keiichiro was clearly showing, like, was holding Ghosh back long enough. Also, it's partly Jackpot Striker's fault for continuing to walk forward.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
I think that
literally could have stolen all of Ghosh's collection pieces if Jackpot Striker just stood still.
But no, because we gotta preserve the longevity of the series.
Yep.
We gotta find out that Noel's not a real boy.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he was in this movie.
Like, barely.
That summarizes
Like
his
2
characteristics.
seconds.
All he did was show up,
That's-
actually solve the mystery, but no one knew, and then get blown off a building.
That's every Sentai movie. The Sixth
But he
Ranger
was
does
okay.
nothing.
Yeah, he's okay! So yeah, they crash
I
through.
fell off a building, but I got better.
Yeah. They break on through to the other side.
He's like Tuxedo Mask.
Just in time to save the others from getting killed. And I love that Kyrie's like, "Oh my god!" Like, they're all like, "Oh my god, Kyrie, Red, you're back!" And he responds with, "Always rely on a policeman when you get lost."
Policeman when you get lost.
That was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
So we get the 6-man
And then,
henshin.
but before that, they say they say that they had they tell Wilson and Herlock that they had a good plan, but in their own words, the troublesome phantom themes and the pain in the ass police officers trying to defeat both of them at the same time was their fatal mistake.
Yeah. It definitely was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get a very nice 6-man henshin, which involves seeing the Patranger suits before the shoulder armor comes on, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you just want to say something, Emily?
No, I was just thinking about Jackpot Striker.
Every time we say jackpot, I think for half a second I'm like, Jackbox Striker?
Jackpot Striker, yes.
Voiced by Cookie Masterson.
Honestly, that would be freaking
or
great.
Schmitty.
Wait,
I almost
the
want to do that now. Like,
Right?
Ichi, the Jackbox Striker is in is that one game in the new one where you have the giant rapping robots.
Oh, yeah.
there are giant rapping robots?
Yep, in
Yeah,
Party
the new
Pack
game
5.
is Robot Rap
Oh,
Battles.
it's that game where you
Madverse
like write
City.
the rhymes down. Yeah,
Yeah.
you had it.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't know why I
So they managed to yoink out the collection pieces from Herlock and Wilson, and they are recolors of the Psycho Kyutama and the Changer from Gingaman.
Oh yeah.
Don't you mean it's a recolor of the...
Of course you have it.
Oh, dang it, wait. It's been a while since I've played with this thing,
Oh my
shut
god,
up.
I really miss Q Ranger. Sorry.
I still have
Don't
the Lupin
remind
stuff.
me!
You still have
I
the...
miss my
Yeah,
boy!
I still have everything.
You didn't get to
you
sell
sound
it?
upset
No,
about that.
no one bought it.
How much are you selling it for?
I still need to get
40, 50
the
bucks.
whole-
Like all of it.
$40, huh?
I miss my boy, I say as I'm cuddling the Kuma Voyager.
I still have like Cerberus.
I
Emily's making a crafty face.
am? What? I didn't know I was capable of making a crafty face. What does it
It's
look
like, wheels on
Kraft
10.
mac and cheese face.
I can make a Kraft mac and cheese face.
So then we get what I was super happy to finally get
Or
is
Kraft
like
dinner,
we get
as they call it here.
we see Patranger, and then we also get to see the debut of Lupin Tricolor.
It's
Or as
awesome.
he said in that one episode,
The debut
Lupin
and only
Tricolor.
showing of Lupin.
Tricolor.
Yeah. Which I kind of like better.
I
And
like
we got the same thing as they did as the first episode of the second episode with Pat and Hugo, where they're just like, "What the hell is going on?"
No, and then
happened?
I
you guys better not touch me.
Yeah, I just love Hugo. It's just like
Yeah, that's what it does. Go
Yeah,
So
Why do
then
we fuse? It's just what happens. You get used to it.
so they fight for a bit. Then they use their some of their machines, and they make Pat Kaiser and Lupin Rex. And Lupin Rex is pretty dope.
Lupin
Those
Rex
wings
is
are so cool!
gorgeous!
It's pretty.
Wings are
I
so
hate-
cool!
It's
I
pretty
hate
cool.
the fact that on Lupin Rex you don't get those actual wings. All you get is the little pieces that go
Right.
that go on the fucking dial.
You
bits,
get, I know you said
rails.
pieces, but I heard the little pizzas that you put on the...
It's a little mini pizza.
When pizza is on a jackpot, you can have pizza anytime.
When pizza is on a robot.
You can have pizza! But yes, Lupin Rex is fucking gorgeous!
There is
If
a toy
Luke-
of it.
Okay,
If
whoa.
Jackpot Striker wasn't like $100, I would have bought it 10 years ago.
Whoa. Didn't know you had that much hard on for a Megazord.
I bought the Jackpot Striker.
Yeah, and now you're ruining it by coloring it blue.
Because I like blue!
What?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
if you like the fucking Megazord so much, you would keep it in its original form.
I can like things by recoloring them.
Each is the second time I've heard you're taking something really cool that's red and turning it blue.
Third, because I'm also doing the Evolve Driver.
Yeah, he's sticking the fucking
I
Evolve
know.
driver in.
Okay. Oh, I was
Are you okay,
I was
Doc?
talking about the Evolve driver. What's
Oh.
the third thing?
He's just tired.
It's
It's like 12:30.
the
almost
Ghost
dead.
Driver. I turned that blue too.
I wanted to be.
I mean, that was technically kind of already blue.
Is okay.
It was silver.
It is pretty late.
Well, I mean, like, whatever.
We're,
I took off the
we're
bed
wrapping
sheet.
up, so...
But
So anyways, we get Ichigeki and Itadaki strike, then they summon the Megazords, and it's really cute to see Pat Kaiser and Lupin Rex fighting together, and then it just raises into the sky, coats its sword in azure flame, and then descends like a fucking eagle from the sky, and the double Keisatsu was really awesome.
oh,
I'm sad it didn't get
the
a
other thing
name.
that I loved where was, oh hey Jackpot, you can transform too, right? Yeah, why? You're coming with us.
Right? And I like that.
And then also, oh wow, he's so much better than Goody.
Yeah.
Phew, hey, is someone talking about me behind my back?
And then Sakuya sneezes for a completely unexplained reason.
And that made me burst out just because
Wait, I just
love the fact
realized
that
something.
somebody somewhere just called Sakuya a fucking asshole.
I just realized something though. He did that in his helmet.
Yeah. Oh god, there's snot in my helmet!
He's the Green Ranger, but that's too much.
But yeah, the
Guys,
fact
got
that
my mouth. I got my mouth. It bounced off my screen. Went into my mouth.
It's all over my HUD!
good strikers like sneezing at that point because someone was talking about him. That was funny enough on its own. But then Sakuya randomly sneezing.
Yes.
I just imagine a random character somewhere called Sakuya an asshole.
The
Or at
fact-
the same time they're calling the Lupins are calling Sakuya an asshole.
I think the fact that they didn't explain that made it funnier.
That's
yeah. The fact that just out of nowhere he just sneezed, just like
because we don't know if it was actually
Yeah.
caused by that or not, or if it was
Yeah.
just normal.
we have no clue what happened, but we all just hope that the reason he sneezes is because someone was making fun of him.
No, I don't. I don't hope that.
And then we get a scene of Noel being all smiley, but he's like, "Oh, I solved the mystery first, but I didn't get to do anything."
I solved the mystery first, but I got brain damage.
I got drain damage.
That shit.
And thus the movie ends, and Jackpot Striker is never seen again.
Fiend.
What the fuck?
But I think this movie was. Because with the end of the movie, it was part of it was. Since this movie, I think, is also canon, it was leading into Lupin Red and Kairi and Keisho having more respect for each other.
Sure.
But also, I watched this episode the day after I finished watching Voltron, and that final attack with Lupin Rex just was very reminiscent of that. It's like, is there someone who was there a fan that watched this movie?
Maybe.
You guys know what I'm talking about with the last episode of.
Memory is.
I haven't watched that far yet, so.
You haven't? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
on
not gonna spoil anything.
I'm on episode 3 of season 1.
You got a long way to go.
I know.
Here's your homework till the next time you talk to me. Finish watching that show.
Hail Voltron.
I'll see if I have time.
It's so good.
Oh, I know it is. I just don't have time.
Speaking of time, we're out of it because that's the show.
All right. So yeah, for me personally, it was cool, but again, it wasn't it didn't wow me.
It was.
So,
I think
again, it's a fancy episode.
It was as good as a half-hour quote unquote movie could have hoped to be.
Exactly.
Was it really better than Be the One?
I have no idea.
It was. Be the One was flashier and more of a visual spectacle, but the Lupinranger movie was more of a condensed and mostly completely explained story.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing beats Spapes.
Spapes?
I'm sorry, after watching the Hurricaneger summer film, nothing beats Space Apes, which, thanks to Emily, I call them Spapes.
Oh.
Nothing
I still don't get
Spapes.
it.
I don't remember that, but condensing
seem
Space
to have
Apes
blocked
to
that out of my
Spapes
memory.
sounds like something I would do, so
Same.
I believe you.
Spapes.
Cereal or
Space
beer
Ape,
or
Space Ape.
burial.
Also, this movie was lacking an ending. An ending theme.
Yeah, it did.
Just like the series!
I don't.
When the movie ended, I was like, oh, right.
Ichi, why'd you
There's
do a
someone they
Jackpot
can
Striker
dance
impression?
to.
I mean, the
I like that.
the laugh is when they do
Tricolor.
and the clones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Blaze, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Always a
thank
pleasure.
you for joining us on the show.
And Chica, you said that. Castranger.
So, I think since next week is the end of Lupinranger, Patranger, instead of an actual movie episode discussion, what we're going to do is go into a little bit of a retrospective and give our thoughts on the series as a whole.
Booyah! I love those.
If I have time, can I join that too? Because I really love this show.
We shall see, sir.
We'll see.
What did he say?
If you
wants to be on next
can't,
week.
then fine. I will just be complaining in the chat, which you can do too if you join the Castranger Discord.
As usual, the primary source of our hijinks is castranger.podbean.com. From there, you can find our YouTube channel, Facebook page, Twitter account, Discord server, where you can chat with us and also listen live Friday nights, 9 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
And our Patreon, where you can become awesome donators to our show, just like Senor Blaze here.
Yeah.
And you can do things like read all of the notes that I take while we watch episodes and movies, because there's a lot on here that I don't mention in the heat of our discussion.
Go watch Ultraman.
I feel like I said so
go
much
watch Ultraman.
dumb
Good
stuff
shit.
today.
Don't tell me what to do, Gar.
No, you should watch Ultra Ranger because they worked really hard on it. And also, if you like Ultraman and Kaiju, you should watch it. Sometimes they might mention Mothra.
75% of the hard work is Gar.
They might mention
also
Mothra,
is.
guys. You won't know until you watch the episode. They might bring her up.
Sex sells! Don't forget that!
And yeah, apparently,
Oh.
as of the last episode, if you like sex, watch Ultra Ranger.
Say that right after I mentioned
Because we're going there, I guess.
Episode 68, don't sex in my grid, man.
And let me just say, wasted opportunity because you could have waited for episode
But
69.
at the same time,
If you
it's
listen to
funny
the
that it's
episode,
not
we bring that
69,
up.
but it's
That doesn't make it okay.
Well, sorry that Rube got subbed so late.
Yeah.
Could have talked about something else.
Anyways, goodbye, everybody!
Wait, yeah. Fuck you guys.
No. Stop the recording, Ichi! Okay.